Hello everyone and welcome to game number 2 in a series between Happy and Yaws. Over here on the top right hand side of the map we have Yaws spawning as the yellow human on Echo Isle. Meanwhile, Happy has spawned as the red undead on the top left. Undead versus human on Echo Isle. Gonna go ahead and speed things up to that 8 times speed. We pretty much know what's going to be happening in the first 2 minutes. Altar of Darkness, Scouting, Acolyte, Crypt, Tomb of Relics. Death Knight will go ahead and pop on out of here. Meanwhile, back across, Archmage going to be added, and it looks as though it is going to be a militia clear down to the south in order to try and set up a fast expansion. It appears that Happy knows Yaws' game plan well in advance. Death Knight already moving out across the map here as Yaws gets his Water Elemental ensnared. A little bit of damage is being dealt, but he'd rather that Water Elemental actually be attacking that Ogre Magi, who just happens to be out of range right now. Ogre Magi gonna get taken down. Wait, why aren't you finishing off the Ogre Magi? There you go. Picks up that Claws of Attacks +6. That little bit of experience was denied right there, so Happy unable to get that, as we now see Death Coil onto one peasant right there. Alright, Happy has to be extremely careful. This was a 5-3-3 creep camp, meaning any skeletal minion death will be level 2, as we now see the, well, there it goes. What? Oh no, he denied a little bit of experience. I guess he must have denied a little bit of experience. Alright, so there was a bit of denial by Happy in getting that kill. I thought he didn't get that experience, but he did in fact get it there, as now the peasant is going to go back and forth trying to pick up lumber and gold and stay out of the sight of that one particular gold mine. Alright, Skeletal Minion now making its way back and forth. Skeletal Minion getting in some attacks, down to 27 hit points. 1 or 2 more shots should be enough to finish it off there. There goes some Skeletal Minions, and the Archmage is still just shy of level 2. A little bit of bonus damage coming in, Death Coils, as the peasant unable to get inside combat range, and this is only going to last as long as this arcane tower is not fully upgraded. But so far we are still seeing continual attacks here. Archmage now at level 2 does have level 2 or does have Brilliance Aura now, excuse me, as the action coming across slightly faster just because I sped up those first 2 minutes. Anyways, let's see how this game is going to be unfolding, as Happy is going to be forced to retreat. He knows that he can't stick around in this fight, and all the peasants really need to do now is start constructing that town hall. That town hall can be constructed off over here. Arcane Vault can be constructed down here, and once that happens, all the Death Knight can really hope to do is that he did deal enough damage in slowing down whatever Yaws' economic advantage would currently be. He's invested a lot of peasants, invested a lot of gold into peasants right now, and they will not be able to pay for themselves at least until a minute or 2 after this town hall is completed. The town hall costs 385 gold, plus the speed build, plus all the additional peasants, and yeah, once you add all of that up, it does take quite a bit of time before you do see any sort of ROI. Archmage now looking to run away from those ghouls here, as the Death Knight does in fact get to level 2, has Unholy Aura, and the Archmage has to be extremely careful. Archmage does have Boots of Speed though, so will be able to slip away. It did lose the Scroll of Town Portal. Not quite sure if he sold that Scroll of Town Portal for those Boots of Speed, as the Archmage now getting in some bonus damage onto that Death Knight. Death Knight now down to, what, 103 hit points, as it looks like the poor Footman will get taken out as well. The Crypt Fiend so far getting in a lot of free damage, and all the Death Knight can hope to do is stay on Blight a little bit longer and regenerate some of those precious hit points. He's currently down to 122, but he knows that there's not going to be any level or any Mountain Kings for quite some time, because there is an expansion in play rather than an upgrade to tier 2. Footman running across an army of Crypt Fiends and a Death Knight. That does not look like good news at all. Down to 40 hit points. It looks as though the Death Knight is just going to get one more killing blow onto that Footman, and there it is. Archmage, Footman, and the strategy of Yaws. Right now, he is economically ahead once that gold mine does start to pay for itself, but right now he is currently behind. He has, I believe, a smaller army, 31 compared to 26, but you got to remember that is 7 or 8 additional supply just on workers right now, as opposed to the single base of Happy. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Death Knight feeling very, very comfortable, attempting to creep out a rather difficult creep camp, one of the more difficult creep camps on the map, and he will in fact get to level 3 off of this creep camp here. Alright, Ogre Magi going to perhaps get taken out right there. There it goes. Level 3, now level 2. Death Coil can come into play, healing up those Crypt Fiends as the Archmage is dropping in some Water Elementals to try and deal all of that precious damage. Alright, here we go. Crypt Fiend now coming across. Death Knight is at level 3. The Archmage is only sitting at level 2. And the Death Knight at level 3 with level 2 Death Coil can in fact deal a fair bit of damage. Footmen do have defend though, so the Crypt Fiends are not going to be dealing that much, as you do see 2 Crypt Fiends getting, or 2 Acolytes getting taken down at the very last moment there. We are now upgrading the Black Citadel. There's only 2 Acolytes currently mining. 2 more going to get back on there in just a moment. The Water Elemental is slowly making its way over as the Lich does get a little bit of experience there. Water Elemental is splashing into their death as the Lich is out on the field. Are we going to get that Orb of Corruption? We should be getting that Orb of Corruption if that Lich does decide to turn back around and pick it up. No backpack upgrade. Meanwhile, Death Knight still racing after some of these units here, perhaps going to clear out the 544 creep camp down to the south. Only 1 Forest Troll Trapper is left at that northern expansion location, as Happy is looking to clear out some of these creep camps to get some additional gold. Now, Yaws looks as though he is going to be successful in setting up this second base. The big question, though, is on a map like Echo Isle, where your gold mines are relatively low, you can run out of gold fairly quickly. Now, I believe this is enough for 15 more minutes, about 15 to 17 more minutes of mining. And once that is done, that is all the gold you're going to get. Undead may try and stay at no upkeep and get every ounce of gold without losing them to quote-unquote taxes, but the human player needs to try and build up as large of an army as he can and utilize that gold better than his opponent and trade efficiently in those upcoming fights. Now, Happy is being very aggressive and using that illusion very, very well to make sure that the human army is just constantly out of position here. You can see that there's a Water Elemental trying to make its way in. We see Black Citadel upgrade is already done, and the poor Water Elemental trying to rush its way in is not going to get very far at all. Death Knight sitting at level 3. Water Elemental looks like it is just going to absolutely fall apart right there. That Ziggurat is not going to get taken out, as we still see aggressive creeping by Happy. Happy doing a great job splitting his army into a 2-headed beast, being able to defend solely with a Death Knight while being effective with that Lich in trying to creep out these difficult creep camps. The majority of the creep camps have been crept out by Happy, as you see that the Archmage is still only at level 2, while the Lich is getting dangerous, or is already at level 3. 2 level 3 heroes compared to a single level 2, and Happy is just completely outclassing Yaws at this stage in the game. Yes, economically speaking, he is behind, but only a crazy person would attempt to attack these towers right now. We may see some meat wagons come into play or something of that nature, as we're now looking at the Lich looking to clear out this small Murloc Creek camp here. Alright, Lich gonna finish that off. Tome of Agility +2, that will give a little bit of armor. Come on, just pick it up. It's sitting right there. Alright, not the case. Staff of Teleportation, as the Archmage does run back away. Tome of Agility was picked up, and we'll see where this Lich will hope to travel to next, and when we will start getting those all-important obsidian statues. Now, Happy most likely going to start researching, researching Disease Cloud. So Disease Cloud is going to be researched, and this does make a lot of sense. Happy's particular strategy right now is to stay as small as possible. And that means that if you do want to have a small army, you need to have an efficient army to really combat that. Archmage is off over here, and oh, this could be very bad news. Frost Nova there, Archmage stuck between a rock and a hard place. Silence already coming across, as that damage is already coming in. All right, Stormbolt Archmage, Lich now in serious trouble, is going to be able to get out, trying to make its way out. Death Coil going to be coming across though. There it goes, and the Mountain King knows quickly that it cannot hope to engage there. Mountain King going to get felled. Archmage already down, as Happy is just now taking an additional creep camp, knowing that this creep camp is also giving him pretty much a little bit of a gold advantage, or at least keeping him on equal footing in terms of the economic race. You can see back across over here, we are 36 over 66, a rather small army, but the guard towers with level 2 masonry upgrades cannot be ignored. Death Knight still wandering around here, sells some items, now making its way back over. You can see the Footmen hoping to find some sort of expansion there. Actually don't find anything at all, and that has to be a cause for concern, as we do see a Meat Wagon now joining in on the fight. All right, 2 obsidian statues, 1 Meat Wagon. The Meat Wagon gonna hit with that Disease Cloud, and beautifully done again. The Disease Cloud is going to prevent these Footmen from dealing a lot of damage. As we see, well, the Disease Cloud is still off over there, just hitting those units, and the Meat Wagon may be trying to run away, as the Death Knight is going to get in an easy, quick kill right there, now getting up to level 4 with level 2 Unholy Aura most likely. It really feels like Happy is just looking to play his game his way. He's going to have the stronger army. He's going to be clearing out all of these creep camps, and I like this play by Happy. Happy is essentially using the creep camps as a third resource on this map. He knows that every time he gets another kill like this, or kills another creep camp, his opponent is not going to be able to catch up at all. Meat Wagon's going to be joining in again, and the Meat Wagon could have just turned around and did that an attack there. Meat Wagon's now looking to back off once more. This is not going to be good at all. Meat Wagon now trying to get away, as there is a little bit of a dance around the base right there. Meat Wagon down to 98 hit points. You see Knights are already been upgraded. No animal war training, only sitting at 835 hit points, but picking off so many of these units already, as the Meat Wagon is going to be regenerating some hit points just because of that Unholy Aura. All right, little bit of damage to be had. -5 armor, frost armor now onto that Meat Wagon. Meat Wagon benefiting from some additional armor there. There was a Dark Ritual, I believe, as the Lich now back up to 406 mana still. Siege Engine down to 293, as Siege Engine is attempting to take down that Black Citadel. Not gonna really work though, as the Meat Wagon is there to try and stop it. All right, Black Citadel down to 170 hit points. More cold towers coming into play. There goes that another attack there. And Happy sitting at 65 over 70. He feels confident enough with his standing army being led by superior heroes. A level 2, almost level 3 Dark Ranger, a level 4 Lich, and a level 4 Death Knight. Siege Engine down to 48 hit points. 2 more actually no, wow. Multiple more blows going to be needed. 2 more blows? 1 more blow, and that is going to be the end of that. There it goes, finally taking down Siege Engines with that fortified armor. Takes reduced damage from the hero attack of the Death Knight. Hence, the significant drop-off in terms of damage. Now, Knights are upgraded. Animal War Training 1-1 upgraded. There are Destroyers in play. The Destroyers do have some mana right now, and that is it. You see 5 Knights in position, and this is a very big deal. Archmage just got to level 3. Paladin and Mountain King are both still just sitting at level 1. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is sitting at level 4, and the Destroyer is going to absorb a bit of mana, get an extra bit of mana once more, deal that all-important precious damage there, as we're now heading back off to the north here. All right, Slaughterhouse taking a lot of damage. It looks like that is one of 2 Slaughterhouses, but the Meat Wagons are in the backfield lobbing, well, diseased bodies in order to slow things up. All right, so far that is going to be a significant drop-off in terms of damage there. There goes 1 Knight. Staff of Sanctuary nowhere to be found. What? Nope. No, Staff of Sanctuary on the Archmage. Picking up that Knight, teleporting him back home. He was near certain death, but was able to make it back home. Death Knight now trying to catch back up once more. Paladin is in position. Destroyers are all right here, ready to go. A little bit more damage again as the Skeletal Minion trying to box out that Mountain King, but the Mountain King able to slip through, launching another Stormbolt once more. All right, a lot of holy lights going down on a poor Mountain King. Is the Paladin going to be able to get it one more time? Yes, he will, as it looks as though the final shot still able to do it. 2 destroyers up in the air looking to finish off all of these knights here. We do see some, we should be looking at some meat wagons. Where are they? The meat wagons are all here, happy, perhaps not knowing or not realizing that Yaws has deeply fortified himself inside his own base. Level 2 masonry upgrade, level 3 could be underway once there is enough gold. More attacks are still ready to come across, as we do have the haunting of the gold mine over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Solo knight looking to get in combat range. Meanwhile, back off to the north, another knight able to hide away at least for a little while longer. Those meat wagons perhaps need the help of that death knight for slightly faster movement speed. Staff of teleportation coming in. Archmage comes across, drops a water elemental, and this haunted gold mine could get taken out. But at what cost, as we now already see 2 meat wagons in position? The acolytes are now making their way back up to the north. Is there another meat wagon here? No, there is not. And we are now going to see some major attacking coming across onto this base here. All right, attacking ground right here might actually be the best thing, where you would actually start doing a bit of damage to those peasants and those other guard towers as well. All right, Frost Nova, a little bit of damage right there. Is that knight going to be able to make it away? -5 armor on a knight, down to 4 armor there. Meanwhile, more meat wagons still trying to lob in some more damage. You can see that the peasants are taking a little bit of splash, but in comes some flying machine. Yaws with a squadron of flying machines to finish off the destroyers. And there they go. No panda to deal with all of these flying machines, as the damage is starting to rack up. Problem, though, is that I believe the Frost Nova, if you cast it on a knight underneath, it still deals damage a bit to those units up to the north. Crypt Fiends do not have web. Happy is in serious trouble. More units are now all teleporting back home. That was a tremendous loss. 43 over 90. Compared to 77 over 84. The economic advantage for Yaws finally holding, as the Paladin does get to level 2 and still waiting for that Mountain King. Where is that Mountain King? Mountain King is, peasants now getting taken out in order to free up some supply. Archmage is sitting at level 3. There is that Paladin. Mountain King is just now joining in on the fight as well, as we still see more creeping coming in. Death Knight and Lich both sitting at 4. Tome of Intelligence, Dark Ranger sitting at 3, perhaps wishing that she had trained up, or wishing that he had trained up a panda instead. With that many flying machines out on the field, it is going to be difficult to try and amass up a large number of destroyers. But one thing that Happy can do, though, he can simply ignore those flying machines, or just get web enough to try and combat that superior vast numbers coming in from Yawz's army. Knights are upgraded 2-2. Flying machines upgraded 1-2. They do have that siege attack. They will be able to attack the ground, but they are going to be dealing reduced damage to those Crypt Fiends. Back across over here, the squadron of flying machines are going to be ready to go. Flying machines and knights leading the way. Flight of the Concord just currently stuck in my head, as those knights are charging along the ground and the flying machines are charging overhead here. Mountain King sitting at level 2. Paladin sitting at level 2, placing down an ivory tower to keep track of this expansion. And this gold mine only has about 3 minutes, 3 minutes 15 seconds left of gold in them, so that it could potentially be a problem. Meanwhile, back off to the north, this gold mine starting to run out as well, and this gold mine has about 5 more minutes as well. We are looking at 55 over 90 supply. Every bit of gold is trying to be hoarded up and saved up here, as another expansion coming across over here on the bottom left. Yaws is going to be setting up a 3rd base here, and this is looking incredibly great for Yaws. I am wondering what Happy can really hope to do here, short of just hero nuking down those targets. I'm not quite sure what else can be done. Abominations are being added as well. Crypt Fiends are upgraded 3-0. Yeah, Knight's gonna be ready to go. Pendant of Energy. Lich is very, very powerful. Double Circlet of Nobility. Dark Ranger with a Potion of Healing as well. These units are going to be going in for what seems to be a very big final push, as the guard towers are now getting ready to be completed. If a couple of guard towers are destroyed here, this is going to be a very big deal. Here you go. In comes the big fight. Are we going to see a couple of webs? There goes one guard tower. Death Knight, Water Elemental, and the units are all attacking. The flying machines do have the ability to attack the ground. Staff of Sanctuary and flying machines are now all just completely rooted into position. Death Knight now trying to finish off units. More and more units are coming down as we see more and more web coming in. Death Knight sitting at level 5. More and more web just being spit back down. Mountain King only sitting at level 2. Lich now sitting at level 5. Frost Novas are dealing tremendous amounts of damage as well. The hero level may be enough to win out here, as you see another Staff of Sanctuary dodging, I believe, a Death Coil. More flying machines are ending up just out of sight and out of mind. Those flying machines perhaps should have been engaging somewhere else, but the Knights are now going to try and fight back here. The Knights, the perfect counter to all of these Crypt Fiends, as the Dark Ranger is in that front position. All right, are we going to see the Destroyers go into, or the Obsidian Statues go into the Destroyer form? That is the big question. That is a lot of Water Elementals, but it's piercing damage versus piercing damage, but one side has medium armor. That means that the Crypt Fiends will slowly win out on this fight here, as we see another guard tower getting taken down. 69 over 96 coming in from Yaws. Meanwhile, Happy is looking at 67 over 90, a slightly smaller overall supply count, even though he has a larger army because of all of those peasants. All right, if Happy can finish off this push, I believe it will be too much. The Dark Ranger is already at 4. The Death Knight is sitting at 5. And this continual push is just becoming too much. One Abomination in that front position. Obsidian Statues are all just constantly ready to go, as we are still looking at more and more engagements here. All right, there we go. Abominations coming across. Blizzard going down to all of those poor Crypt Fiends there. We do see a Silence hitting across multiple units here, as the Knights are going after those Crypt Fiends. Another Staff of Sanctuary. Staff of Sanctuaries have been flying all over the place, but Yaws does not have those units just quite yet. All right, let's take a look at that. That is a lot of Knights back home that are currently out of this fight. And, well, when your army is split up as it is, you can see why Happy is winning this fight, able to continually push this game here. Yaws unable to hold this 3 base advantage. Blizzard now being used again. Another Staff of Sanctuary. Silence being used once more, as another Knight may get taken down. Abomination getting then that final shot off there. All right, poor peasants gonna end up falling here, and Acolytes ready to go to start haunting this gold mine, as it is gonna end up being 1 base to 1 base here in just a moment. All right, supply 71 over 96 compared to 71 over 90. This gold mine is down to 2 minutes left of mining. We do have 3 Knights come in from Yaws, but the hero advantage. Happy perfectly playing Echo Isle, using the limited creeps on this map as a 3rd resource, getting bonus gold, and more importantly, getting the experience on the Lich and on this Death Knight. All right, Dark Ranger going to be ready to go here. Death Knight taking the low ground, making sure that there is nothing else to be spotted. Dark Ranger, is it going to be picking up a Potion of Invulnerability? Yes, it will, as the Crypt Fiends are now slowly marching their way out across the map. Destroyers, not even needed, but the mana is low on both of these Obsidian Statues. All right, in comes this next fight. All right, are we going to see some attacks? There's a Frost Nova right there. There goes the death of a unit already, as we now see a quick turnaround. Quick Storm Bolt, but the Crypt Fiend hopes to stay alive. It does have Frost Armor. It finally gets taken down. That has a whole bunch of Knights just to try and take down 1 unit there. Storm Bolt again happening in the play, as the Staff of Sanctuary coming across. Staff of Sanctuary again, and triple Staffs of Sanctuary constantly teleporting units back home. Scroll of Town Portal, there goes another mortar team, as the units can just get focus fired down. All right, what's going to be happening here? Is there enough Crypt Fiends to really poke through all of the necessary damage? One siege engine has marched its way over here to the haunted gold mine and is dealing terrible damage. Meanwhile, one is off to the north here, but it looks as though this siege engine will get taken out by the ghouls. There it goes. Death Knight now making its way over. Siege engine is going to fall, and I believe this is going to be the beginning of the end. Siege engine does have 3 armor and fortified armor. Only those abominations are dealing any considerable bit of damage there. As you see, the haunted gold mine is currently being repaired. More gold still being added. Let's take a look. If you can fight on Blight, why not? That is going to be the big question there, as the Lich and the remaining units are now coming back. Abomination's trying to get into that front position, and you can see so much poison damage to be had. Blizzard now being cast across multiple Crypt Fiends. Backed up here, Mountain King only sitting at level 2 at the 27-minute mark. Mountain King looks like it could get taken down. No, Potion of Invulnerability and Scroll of Protection. 13 armor knights without devotion aura, and this is still just the beginning. More damage still coming across. Another Staff of Sanctuary, more knights, abominations, blizzards coming across, but the Archmage has been felled, and that is most likely going to be it. No more extra mana for that Paladin and that Mountain King, as so many peasants are just wandering around dead here. They have a disease cloud, and they are going to be falling. There is the GG. Well played. Happy taking the game, even though gold, he mined 10,000 gold less. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy really using Echo Isle to his advantage there and playing a superb game. If you guys enjoyed the video and have watched all the way through, please remember to like this video. Likes do help me overall, and in terms of gauging and pacing and critiquing myself in my commentary. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.